Hey guys, welcome to Save Continue Podcast, where every week we get together and talk about video games and video game related stuff. As always, I'm Shanae Howard. This is Thomas Shelby
Good morning.
and Ryan Robinson.
Konnichiwa, bitches.
Love it. So, what have you guys been up to this week?
I've basically only been playing Resident Evil 3, and I'm having a lot of fun with that. So I did it wants you to do all these different playthroughs.
Hmm.
So I just got done doing one where you can't use the item box at all, and that was stressful, but it was fun. And I beat the game. I beat the game in about an hour and a half now, which is pretty cool. And yeah, doing that kind of stuff, like no healing runs and that kind of thing.
Nice.
And I'm getting
How many
really
times have you
awesome
beaten
at
it?
it. Probably 6 or 7 times, but I have a few more to do. I'm like 3 trophies away from the platinum. I don't know if I'm going to try to do that or not, but I don't really feel like playing anything else right now, so I'll probably end up doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, I did start playing the PS4 port of Ni no Kuni, the first one. So, doing that a little
Being a
bit.
good boy, helping your mom.
Yeah. I mean, mom's dead, so.
Oh man,
Mom.
there's no help in that.
Well,
And I speak from experience. So,
yeah.
yeah.
But,
What about you, Ryan?
Well, I finished The Last of Us Part 2 a couple of days ago.
How many
Uh,
times did you cry?
Total 4. 4 times.
Like at the finale or like the entire game?
I'll say that the finale is certainly a bummer.
Over the course of days.
I beat it and then I cried 4 times over as many days. No, I don't know. I feel like in the opinions that I have personally seen of that game, it seems like kind of divisive, specifically where the story is concerned. Um, I connected with the story, with this game story more than I did the first one. Um, I
But
enjoyed.
do you think it's a better story than the first one?
See, that's
Like objectively?
it's well, I mean, I don't know. It's weird, right? Because I think that I think that basically what this story is doing is kind of doubling down on the themes established in the first game, which is basically like loss and struggle and like moral gray areas and shit. Um, and but it's I feel like it's pretty effective. Um,
Druckmann says the first game is about love and the second game is about hate.
well, there's a lot of hate in that game.
Yeah.
Like a,
Hate, 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 hate.
like a lot, and it seems to be
Now
like
imagine that game to have a haters ball. I would love that.
like anger, and I don't know if it's necessarily hatred either, right? Because I think that like anger is a huge motivator for all of the central characters in that game. And but I think that it's effective, and I feel like I resonated more with the characters in this game than the first game. I
Well, let me tell you something, Ryan.
Okay.
Until you are a father,
Sure.
He's a dog dad.
yeah,
um,
that's insane.
See, that's the thing about it is that I filled out the census form today, and you can't put your dogs on there. So
You can.
according to the U.S. government, I guess that doesn't count. But I think I enjoyed playing this game more as well because I think that I think that the encounters allow for more creativity this time around. Each encounter feels like a kind of like a self-contained like sandbox, and like there are multiple solutions to each one. I chose to. I feel like The Last of Us, as far as combat is concerned, really focuses on stealth a lot. And so I kind of chose to focus on that myself. But I like it. Like I feel like the combat had like a really good like contextual feel to it. But anyway, I finished that and I felt pretty content with my experience there. They give you the option to go back and do all of the combat encounters in that game, like without any story context attached to it. And I thought about doing that, but then I decided against it. Interestingly enough, where the first game had trophies related to the difficulty of the game, there are no difficulty related trophies this time around. So I feel like getting the trophies in this game will be a little bit more attainable for me. I did get all the difficulty related trophies in the first one, but the only reason I played on the hardest difficulty is because I wanted those trophies. But so without those trophies present, I don't feel compelled to do that. And
You like you enjoyed it more because of that?
I think that the overall vibe of the game, the first game, is like kind of enhanced by that harder difficulty, only because it's like it just seems more like every encounter is like more of a struggle, and it's like really like you're really scrounging your resources. But other than that, I would not recommend playing it that way because it's just really hard. And the other game that I played this week was Ooblets.
Ooblets.
Well, no, I also played Ghost of Tsushima. I also played that. I can't believe.
Oh, how's that?
It's pretty great, actually. It's pretty great.
Any white guys playing flutes?
Zero. You can play a flute yourself.
Yeah.
So far, there are no white guys. Just everybody that I've seen on screen so far has been Asian or a bear. So.
Okay.
But the game is actually pretty cool. I don't know. I felt like I expected the feel of that game to be different from what it is. Just based on what little of the gameplay they showed. I don't know, but it to actually playing it feels really good. And it's a very cool kind of open world game. I feel like Kaylee's getting farther than me in it because she's been playing it more constantly than I have. But so far the story seems decent. The combat is really fun, especially when you get like a perfect parry and like the guy's sword slides off your sword and then you just come back and slice him. It's really neat.
Slice him up.
Yeah. Yeah, and so far I like the game a lot. I don't know how other people are receiving it, but I've been having a really good time with it. And yeah, the other game that I played is Ooblets, which is I'm sure you guys remember hearing about that game a while back.
Yeah. I know that game.
Yes. So it's basically like if you don't
I don't like its art style.
Yeah, it's kind of I don't want to use the word striking because I feel like that implies something else. I don't know. It's simple, I guess is the way. I don't know. But it's a pretty chill game. So basically it's a mixture of farming simulator, not like the game Farming Simulator, but like something like Harvest Moon, like and then like with a like kind of like the life simulator stuff of those games with like making friends and selling your crops and stuff. And then on top of that, you have another layer, which is you have your Ooblets, who they can help you on your farm, and they also participate in dance battles with other Ooblets, so that if you win those dance battles, you get seeds from those Ooblets. And you could take those seeds and grow them in your crops and grow more Ooblets who will hang out with you.
How good of a dancer are your Ooblets?
What's that?
I said, how good of dancers are your Ooblets?
They're okay. I mean, they got little stubby little arms and legs, and they can't really. Their animations aren't like crazy complex or anything, but like, and all the dance battles are like they're also deck based. So you have your cards, which are dance moves, and you play the different cards, and
that kind of reminds me.
Is like,
or that kind of sounds like. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Tanay.
I was gonna say, it kind of reminds me of like the battle system in Chain of Memories when it was just like only the card.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like every turn you get like 4 cards in your hand, and then you play different moves, and each card uses a certain number of beats, which is like the equivalent of mana or whatever analog you want to use for your selected card game. Um, and then the object of each battle is you have a point limit that each side is trying to reach. The first person to reach that point limit wins the battle, and then they get the seeds and everything. Um, the thing about the people in the town though is they all just seem to speak nonsense like all the time, and so
Fair.
that's kind of weird. But I mean, I can't say that I haven't been enjoying it. Like I've been playing it pretty consistently since I bought it, which was yesterday. It's still in early access, so there are some bugs that do come up here and there. Like, so when you go into your farm to plant things or do whatever, you press a key or a button to go into farming mode, and sometimes I'll get stuck in farming mode until I exit the game and come back. And then there are complete areas that are like kind of cut off because according to the messages in the game, the developer broke that area of the game, so they're trying to fix it. But other than that, I've been having a pretty chill time with it. I do enjoy it. I think I'm looking forward to playing more of it, and seeing if they unlock more features or and see the other areas that they unlock. I had been looking forward to that game when I first heard about it because it looks really cute and really fun.
It's really cute.
Yeah, so I
See,
like.
so when I first heard of this game and saw the first initial trailers for this game, like everything you said about it being like a farming simulator with like deck-based stuff and like life simulation, right? Like you could not tell any of that from the
Oh,
trailer.
absolutely. I had no idea, and like I think I knew about like the dancing stuff, but
Yeah.
like I had no idea. Like that's the thing is like even if I like a game, I'm at the point now where if I see cards, I'm kind of like, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
But even still, though, I do think the game is fun for what it is. But again, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with it because right now I'm kind of in the loop of I water my crops, and then I go get some ooblets. I talk to the townspeople. I go home and go to sleep, and then I do it all over again. I'm getting more like gadgets to put around my farm, like sprinklers. Like I have a sprinkler system that is essentially super soakers, and like you set up a super soaker like in front of your crop, and then it'll hit 3 tiles in a straight line. So I have like 3 super soakers lined up next to each other. But yeah, it's neat. I like it. So it's $20 on. It's in early access on Xbox and the Epic Store. So.
Yeah. So I guess like as soon as the community gets toxic, I want to join it because I've been playing a lot of Smash Brothers,
Cool.
and I I don't know. I just remember when you first started getting into like fighting games, really, Ryan, and how excited you were to get better,
Yeah.
and like your face, and it just like
it's
very much
fucking addictive. Victory is
every
addictive,
time.
Shanae.
I don't even know if it's victory, but it's just like understanding the mechanics and like what's going on between my hands and my brain a little bit better,
Yeah.
and actually like being thoughtful in not Street Fighter, in fighting games.
Yeah.
Like I've never like been thoughtful in my actions, and it's exciting. It's exciting to like have that click and see the forward progress.
Yeah.
And then Berto just shit talk me and like bring it all down, but it's happening.
Yeah.
So I've been playing that, and then me and Berto had a date, and we bought a new board game, and Disney Villainous, actually pretty good, and we had a water balloon fight, which are not video game related, but I just wanted to talk about it, and and then I haven't really been playing that much Animal Crossing, but I have been playing Halo Reach.
Nice. That's a good one.
I saw somebody else talking about Reach today.
Halo Reach is one of the better ones.
So I've never played Halo Reach. I've played some of 2, definitely all of 3, and it's been a hot minute since I played either of those.
Yeah.
And so I've never played Reach before, and I'm playing with three other people, and we kind of just like end up like we'll do the objective, and then we kind of end up getting like talking, and then I don't hear what's going on, and then I just don't know where to go.
Sure.
But it's still actually pretty fun. It definitely like it feels super nostalgic while also being new, while also I have to keep in mind like the game is beautiful, but also when it was made. So some features, it's weird they're not in there. Like I had to go in and manually set it to where it'll toggle the crouch, where I don't have to like hold it on the controller for it to crouch. Like it'll just automatically do it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, why am I not crouching? Why do I have a crouch? Like, why isn't this working? Because instead of like looking at the map, I just press all the buttons and see what they do.
Sure.
And that's how I figure out video games: just do things, see what happens, and then keep that in mind. So it's so there definitely was like a learning curve, like or like remembering curve, like hey, oh these things weren't just like automatically there, and it kind of made me appreciate some of the intuitiveness of more current games than Halo Reach.
Yeah. Yeah, whenever I play like if I play Halo or even go back to like Valve games like Half-Life or Left 4 Dead, like because of my experience with every other shooter, I'm still like I still always forget that those games don't have an aim down the sights button. So like that's
Which is weird because games of that time did, you know.
yeah. And I feel like of the popular shooters of Halo's like real like peak, like it was the only one not doing that.
Yeah.
So it's still like weird to like I'm like because I will every time I picked up Halo in recent memory I was like which one is the aim down sights button? Oh, it's this one. Oh no, that throws grenades. Never mind. So
Yeah, and it's weird,
Also,
right? Because like with modern shooters, like Sinead is saying, things have kind of been like control schemes have been unified across games and developers, right? So like the southernmost button is typically going to be jump, the westernmost button is typically going to be reload, right?
yeah,
Whereas like the era in which Reach came out, people were still kind of doing their own thing.
yeah, like I kept like pressing down on the analog stick trying to sprint because I
Yeah,
forgot that you have to move and press X at the same time, or like for it to sprint
weird.
prolonged. And yeah, so there's like things like that where I'm just like, oh yeah, I have to do this, like, or I have to go like map out the keys so it'll do it.
Dude, I remember
Uh,
going back a few years ago trying to play Resistance Fall of Man, and
yeah.
like
Click that stick.
it controls so weird,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Fun game though.
I don't think I ever played the Resistance series. I was aware of it, but I don't think I ever personally played it.
Yeah, well, Fall of Man's the first one, and like, yeah,
And there's
like
is
like
there
clicking the stick to aim down sights, you know, like very strange.
Where like I've been conditioned to like click the stick to like punch.
Right.
Yeah, all of those, it does feel like awkward in my hands,
Yeah,
but I am like, it is returning to my memory how these things work because the Xbox controller has not changed much.
yeah,
Yeah.
Um, so it's been pretty fun. It's been fun like playing games online with people in a faster pace than Animal Crossing.
sure.
Yeah.
So a pace and
Don't
and
start talking about. Don't start talking shit about Animal Crossing, and you spend a fucking 3 months talking about how much
oh,
you wanted to suck that game's dick.
Yeah.
I still want to suck that game's dick, but like it doesn't mean that I'm not aware the balls are small. Like I'm not like
Sure.
Nice.
Sure.
like
Small balls.
I still love the game. It just that yeah, it's just there's faults in it. And I'm aware of them. I've been aware of them. I've been aware of a lot of them. But it doesn't change the fact that I still love that game.
Yeah.
I just haven't really been playing it because I'm not good at moderation with that game. Once I start, like, yeah, well, once pop don't stop, yeah, that for sure. So I don't
Animal
know. I might
Crossing is
have
the
to put it down
Pringles
for
of
a
video
while.
games.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's the Pringles of video games. Don't get your hand stuck in there.
yeah. Don't put your dick in it. Like, yeah, I get it, but
Yeah, well, you can do that.
but yeah, that's all I've really been playing. But But I mean, I
I mean, you
still
say
is
that's
it
all, but that's more than you usually bring to us.
Yeah.
I've been playing less video games, but I'm playing a more variety. So
Sure,
normally
sure.
I just play an extraordinary amount of Animal Crossing
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts or whatever game. But I've been diversifying. And then I also have been trying to get better at reading, and since my leave of absence at work was coming to an end, I was also like trying to do a lot of things that I should have taken advantage of.
Yeah.
So I'm in a busy girl.
Good. Because you never
But it
know.
feels good.
You never know when the Reaper's gonna come calling, Shanae. So.
I don't fear the Reaper. It's fine. Uh, but this week, though, Ryan, you wanted to talk about positivity and not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Positivity?
I just want to
I mean,
talk.
I just brought that up as a segue. Jesus,
I just
Tom.
I just wanted to talk to. I just want to talk about video games that make us feel good when we play them. And
Okay,
it's
so
go
I
ahead.
need like a definition,
A feel good.
Like what exactly you mean,
I mean,
you
whatever.
know?
What does feeling good mean to you, Tom?
Boners.
Okay, so of the games that you probably have written down over there,
I
pick
don't
out.
have any written down.
Okay, of the games in your head right now,
Yeah.
which of those
Whatever
games?
give you boner,
Which of those games gives you a boner?
Sure,
or
sure.
the
Okay.
biggest boner.
Okay. So I have some games that give me a certain type of boner,
Uh-huh.
not the corporeal kind, but
A justice boner? What?
but like like a brain boner, like it gives my dopamine receptors a hard on.
Yeah.
Okay. uh Dicks. All right, but like I
I
just
was like, how far are we gonna go with this?
but no, I think that like there are certain games that I play that whenever I play them, no matter what kind of mood I'm in when I play them, I just immediately feel better. Or I feel good while I'm playing them. I'm happy to be playing them. Now that's what feeling good playing a game means to me. It doesn't have to mean doesn't have to mean that to you guys, but that's what it means to
I,
me.
I picked games that made me smile when I played them.
Sure.
Like if I even if I replay them, I'm still gonna smile.
Yeah, and because I think that because I was thinking about it, I was thinking about how many games that I have played over the last year, right? And there is there was some kind of delineation between I'm enjoying this game, sure, but like I don't know if I like really like there was never like with a specific game there wasn't like that moment where I was like holy shit I'm having like a lot of fun or this game is making me really happy right now. Um, and it's fun to think about that. It's fun to like think about like go back to like think back to those games. Like I could just play those games whenever I want. Whenever I want to feel good, I just play those games. It's fine. Um, and I was just wondering if you guys had games like that because I have a few. Um, but I was wondering if you guys had games like that, and what about those games does that for you?
So I think I definitely have like a very specific kind of game in mind, not so much in genre, but like games that are short in length, but can like you are able to achieve a mastery of,
Right.
Resident Evil 3 is very quickly throwing itself on that list for me, but like, it's the shit that I talk about all the time. Bayonetta
Yeah.
and like Shadow of the Colossus, like these one sitting games that you can invest time in and become very good at,
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
I
I like that.
I think it's interesting about games about character action games like Bayonetta or Devil May Cry is that when you get good at them, like it's a visual spectacle. It's
Yeah.
like it's a joy to like watch yourself play these games because it's like because of like all the things that these characters can do, like you can play them at like a very basic level and like get through the levels, but like
For sure.
but if you master the move set and like optimizing like all the different tools at the character's disposal, it's like really fun to like watch that stuff uh, happen. Because I've watched you play games like Bayonetta, or I've watched you play games like Nier Automata, and like after you've been playing them for a while, and seeing like how impressive like that stuff looks on screen just because of the way you're able to string those moves together.
I think like also, like with games like those, right? Character action games or Resident Evil type of games, uh, you know, Shadow of the Colossus, like these are games that are typically 5 to 10 hours in length, right?
Yeah.
On like your initial playthrough.
Hmm.
But like your reward for getting good at those games is the fact that you get speedy at them.
Right.
And like I guess I just really like being able to sit down and play a game start to finish, like whenever, you
Sure.
know.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Especially like now that like your time is like you think about it like from like maybe a decade or so ago, like your time is more like at a premium now, and so like
Yeah,
being able to finish a game, um,
it's like
it's
Resident Evil 4, right? Like
yeah.
I like that game a lot, and that's like without a doubt a better game than the remake of 3.
Yeah.
But like that game's gonna take me 10 hours every time,
Sure.
you know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I never really like because I never like care about how fast I'm beating a game. I've never like I do see the appeal in like I've always seen the appeal in speed running. Like I've always seen like the appeal of like achieving a high level of skill in something. And of course, like anytime you beat a game, like there is a sense of accomplishment there because your brain provides it.
Yeah.
And but I never really like necessarily thought about it in the way that like it makes people feel good because I just thought it was like, oh yeah, I mean of course they just want to like say they're good at something, but
But
then
Right.
like
even how you started, like even the way you started this conversation today, talking about Smash Brothers, and like it's finally clicking with you. Does that not make you feel good?
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean it does in that game, but I
Like
don't. But
understanding
when
a game on a
I
deeper level in general, you know?
yeah, I mean like I enjoy it. I just like when
Yeah,
I thought about games that made me feel good, like I said, my criteria is like a game that made me smile as I was playing it. And I just never like when I think about that, I have a list
yeah,
and no game where I've actually like worked really hard or put any effort in to be skilled in, do I ever think about like the fact that I am progressing is making me happy.
yeah,
Like in that level. I'm just like, "Oh, hey, I can do this thing now. I can beat this game and then move on to the next one finally or replay it or do all the other side quests." I'm always like, I'm a very much like a what's next person in like video
yeah.
games. And I think that's part of the reason I do like zap everything out of it because I want to know everything about the game.
Sure.
And yeah, no, I mean like, but you're right. Like I am definitely like getting that sense of accomplishment, and I can for sure feel excited about being better about it. I just didn't pop my head, and I think that's it's probably why you play so many games, like so many more games than me, because like I just
I mean, like Ryan and I have talked about it in the past. There are there very rarely, but there's the occasional game that actually brings a smile to my face, you know. And the only one I can really think of over the past decade is the reboot of King's Quest with Christopher Lloyd, you know. But like, yeah, that's really about it as far as like actually putting a smile on my face. I don't know.
um. Well, I guess I'll go into a couple of mine. So quite a few of mine are like Atomi games, and I'm gonna go with the routes because there are some bad routes, but each route is like its own game. And I guess in that aspect, it is similar as in like I want to beat the game or now I want to see what each route is sort of deal with
Yeah,
me. But like I mean with the Tomy games they do since they are very story driven, it does have the ability to obviously make that front and center. And so like a lot of the characters make me smile. The stupid, unrealistic, romantic or goofy situations that the characters find themselves in, just like it makes me happy. Like when I go through it, I'm just like, oh, this poor baby. He's so embarrassed. And then later I'm like, yes, get your kiss. Like it's fun for me. It's fun to
Yeah.
cheer on these characters I have control over.
yeah,
And I don't know, I just like they're and I feel like like reality TV shows, there are character archetypes that I definitely like. I like this one in there. But when it comes to and like even with anime to an extent, but when it comes to like visual novels, like I don't know, it's just kind of like you can definitely tell which ones are better written, I feel like. And so I don't know. There's a lot more like variance in the type of characters I love. I kind of love like all of the characters in Dandelion, just to be honest. If I had to, I mean, I know that y'all aren't familiar with it, but it's the one that I mentioned where like the girl finds all the animals and then they turn into boys and you have to pick one to date. They're all like from
Yeah.
another dimension and they're all like
Oh yeah.
princes and shit.
Hey boys.
So like
Animorphs.
Yeah.
yeah, the sexy Animorphs. Um I feel really gross for saying that
Yeah,
statement.
because all the animals. As far as I know, all the animals are children, Shanae. So.
I,
Well, I
uh
mean, children have to grow up, Ryan.
Oh
All
man.
right.
I don't know, like there's like a character like Jihei from Dandelion that I absolutely love. It's kind of like the more like Ice Prince stoic guy. That like I don't know, you just have like there's like a lot of really good scenes with like really good scenery where
Did
he
you
just is a sad boy
did you call
sometimes.
him an ice prince?
That's what they call him.
It's just funny because like every time every time I've heard of a woman giving someone like the cold shoulder, like man, that's an ice queen. But like thinking about some like a dude, you'd be like, look at that ice prince. It's just really funny
So
to me.
like yeah, like it's like Ice
Snape's
Prince or
trying to
Ice
get that
Princess. It's like
popsicle.
the what is it like the Tsundere or whatever. It's like I don't know. It's
Yeah,
just like they're all. It's an archetype. It's like
yeah.
they're also like they also do it in like whatever. It's
No,
a
no, no,
thing.
no. I know what you're talking about. I know what you mean.
No, you don't.
I do. I've watched an anime.
He knows
Yeah,
what I mean. I
Animorphs.
said the character, but not the phrase. Is what
Yeah,
he's saying.
I know an anime.
One anime, please.
Sure.
But I also, I don't know, like I normally don't really like the characters who are like super rambunctious and are like, I don't know, there's like I'm hoodlums because like I'm all angsty and I'm mad that I got feelings.
Yeah.
Like I normally don't like those characters, but they're I think it's like Jisoo is the one for Dandelion, and I absolutely love him. He's probably the least bratty of like bratty characters like that. And I don't know, like Dandelion pretty much constantly any route. Even I don't like any of the ones where like even if it's like an older person who looks like they're like 12, all that's like a big thing that like a lot of genres have where they just want like a very young looking boy and women love him and I don't get it. But normally so I normally hate that character because I don't think it's cute. But
Sure.
I love this one and I don't know, like Cherix just does great with like I think as far as like characters. Uh like Amnesia Kent is like my favorite, and I normally don't. And he's like the studious mean type, the professor type,
Oh, sure.
and if you want the term,
Sure. Yeah.
and normally I find those characters pretty boring. They normally don't have much growth. It's just like, oh well, like he's not as mean to me, and he doesn't make me read that many math books, so I love him now.
Yeah.
And I
Dream
don't know,
guy.
like normally that character doesn't develop, but it actually does quite a bit in Amnesia. And I don't know, anything with like characters that really grow and then go from being unhappy to happy, which is most visual novels and these
Yeah.
things, and any of the good endings. I just love it. It just like it gives me. I like learning about these little kids or guys and gals, and then just making them happy. Like it's a fun game for me.
Sure, sure. You
You're-
heard it here first. Shanae likes learning about little kids and making them happy.
You can
Yep.
find her at her username, Little Kid Lover.
So they know what I'm about.
Yeah. Oh shit.
I mean, there's quite a few. There is quite a few like visual novels that I do enjoy that don't make me smile. There are some darker ones where the only good endings are the ones that you don't get murdered in,
Yeah.
and like those only make me smile. I like the cute girly ones. I just like that's why I play so many of them because makes me feel good. I think it make and it's easier to it's easier to attain than like completing a game rather than just like watch this cute scene of these two people be awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. When you think about like feel good games, like I was thinking like what can, like, if I was sick or upset or like in any mood, like what would make me smile if I played it? So honestly, most of it is that. I would say also Kingdom Hearts 1, like there mechanically, I get very frustrated with that game in some aspects, and like and some of the design features. But like Sora's story in that game makes me so happy. He just wants to be a good best friend, and he wants all the princesses to be great. And
Yeah.
any of them where, yeah, it's just like it's just good boys and girls making things better. I don't know, it just gets to me.
Yeah.
See, I would say like the skill-based stuff that does make me happy. That's what makes me happy in
Yeah,
playing video games. Like, like if I play something that's has a heavy narrative focus, that is the main focus of the game. I might love that game, but I wouldn't say that it makes me happy.
Yeah.
Edith Finch doesn't make me happy.
No.
You know.
I mean, what kind of monster would you have to be?
Yeah, I mean, I do think some of those stories could be looked at as happy.
Sure.
I don't think that every death story is necessarily a sad one,
Uh-oh.
but yeah, like just in general, more heavy narrative stuff, I might think is like a really fantastic game, but
Sure.
I wouldn't say it puts me in a better mood.
Yeah.
Whereas like finally learning how KOF combos works, like
Yeah.
that puts me in a
Man.
better mood.
Sinead, if you want to talk about Tom being excited about something, get Tom in front of a KOF game, man. Like he was he was having like revelation after revelation about that game, and he was so excited. It was like actually really nice. It was really nice to see.
is your mind map connecting all the strings and stuff?
Yeah.
So for a second though, I did take me like I was like, what the fuck is KOF? I was like, oh, King of Fighters.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry,
I should have said King of Fighters, not KOF, but
I'm not in the community enough to know
sure.
the lingo.
Well, I mean, they got one of their characters in your precious Smash Brothers now, so.
Yeah. You know who Terry Bogard is?
I only play Fire Emblem characters.
Okay,
so.
well, play as Terry Bogard. I heard that he's the #1 character in the game right now. So.
Is that where Minmin's from?
What King
What's
of
that?
I think King of
Yeah,
Minmin's from ARMS, right?
That's what I thought. I was like, what the fuck? What King of Fighters character is in there?
Terry Bogard.
Terry Bogard.
Oh, is that like an actual? Okay.
Yeah, his name is Terrence Bogard. He's the guy with the baseball cap.
I mean, technically he's from Fatal Fury, but like, he's still from King of Fighters.
Yeah. He's got the baseball cap and the jeans and the.
He said Terry Bogard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. I'm more partial to his brother Andy, honestly. But...
Oh, I just thought he was a Street Fighter character.
No, that'd be Ryu and Ken.
Stupid idiot.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe one of the new ones. I don't know. There's been
the Street Fighter characters in the game are the characters that are dressed like Street Fighter characters, Shanae.
Yeah.
So,
Hadoukens.
Yeah, you know what a Hadouken is?
That
Shanae?
dude looks like a Street Fighter character.
Well, he's met some Street Fighter characters a time or two.
There's 17 different versions of Street Fighter 5. One of those can't handle that guy. Like he doesn't fit in any of them.
Well, no.
Legally, that he cannot. But
contractually, no.
He's contractually obligated not to appear in a mainline Street Fighter game. Sorry.
And not even a side one either. But no, okay. So I was not aware of that. Yeah, I don't know. But realistically, I only play Fire Emblem characters.
That's fair.
Sure.
They have swords, so why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Well, some of them got magic.
See, I mean, why wouldn't you do that?
Don't play as Robin. No one likes Robin.
Which one is that?
Robin is the player character from Awakening, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Why don't people like Robin?
Because it's just like, here's a generic character. Go play as that.
I see.
Also, like, I don't like the Robin's like movements.
Yeah.
I don't think any of the I don't think the counters or any of that stuff is like particularly helpful.
They're too
Nor am I good at
sexual.
timing it. No, I normally play is like Byleth or Corn.
Well,
Yeah, corn's cool.
when everything opens up again, Sinead, we're gonna enter you into some local tournaments, okay?
Dope,
All
but only
right.
children's tournaments. I want to see kids cry,
Sure. That makes sense. Are you
and
gonna
then
start
make
Just
them
doing
send you.
happy, and then
Yeah, you
make.
want to make them happy.
that?
Yeah,
Right on.
you're weird.
uh, y'all invited me to be on the show.
That's true. That is
Y'all made
true.
decisions,
Yeah.
You're like an onion, though. Like layers got peeled back over time.
Yeah.
and then regrets were had.
Yeah, to reveal your stinky fruit. So
God damn it. Yeah, I was like, honestly, like most of it is just like Atome games.
Yeah.
Rest of it's just that. I mean, there's probably other games that will might come to mind, but
you know
mainly,
what game makes me fucking smile? And Ryan was there. Well, has been there for this one. Is Space Channel 5. Space Channel 5
Oh
puts a
yeah.
smile on my face.
Tom loves that fucking game, man.
Yeah,
what's Space Channel 5?
it's a rhythm game.
Like an
Uh,
actual rhythm game, though.
right.
It's like because a lot of times, like I feel like a lot of when people say rhythm games, they don't really, what's the word? They don't really like focus on the rhythm the way that Space Channel 5 seems to.
Hmm.
But go on, Tom. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's fine. Yeah, like there's just some really fucking bizarre character animations in that game,
A lot of boinging.
and yeah, it's just funny sound effects.
Yeah.
So like, and specifically funny sound effects when you mess up, you know. And like that shit makes me laugh real hard.
Oh, yeah, no, that reminds me. Of course, let's do like favorites. River City Ransom, like getting hit with the pipes or anything, and the guy's eyes bulging. Love it.
Yeah.
Sure,
That always makes me
sure.
smile.
Um.
Um,
So like earlier when I suggested this topic, I kind of wrote down like a bunch of games that I thought of, but then within that list, like some games like kind of jumped out at me for like specific reasons because they all made me feel the same way, but for different reasons. Um so okay.
The Playboy Mansion game.
Okay. I don't know if
oh,
I ever
how
I don't know if I
how could
ta-
I not bring up Leisure Suit Larry? Of course, that's my
yeah,
go-to chicken noodle soup for the soul.
I don't know what like I don't remember I don't know if like I ever talked to you guys about that game, but like
No, but I found your save is why I brought it up.
so I don't know if I brought this up to you, Tom.
I don't think
But
so.
okay, so in Playboy the game, you are both the main photographer as well as the I don't know, the editor in chief of Playboy
Okay.
magazine. But you also have sex with the models if you want,
Sure.
which is like like so ethically dubious, but like they let you
What
do
you
it,
mean?
you know. That's if you're look.
I mean, people
Ob-
let you do ethically dubious stuff all the time.
It's a solid business structure, Ryan. It's lasted for decades.
Sure. I mean, look, he did that for a really long time, and it paid off. People wanted to
Yeah.
be him for a very long time, so I get it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I never actually figured out like what that game was supposed to be because like I was like, is it a business simulator? Is this a dating simulator?
No,
Like,
it is
what
not
am
a
I
business
doing?
simulator.
Um,
It's a
no, because like they want you to like build up the magazine because they have you start off the magazine and they want you to build up the magazine to like make it more profitable. But they don't say anything about like any aspect of the magazine except for you taking pictures of the ladies and then having sex with them, and then that
That's what I'm saying.
translates to
Like,
profits.
I've done business for a lot of years, and I
Yeah.
had very rarely had sex while getting paid to do something.
Well, that would make you a
Like,
prostitute, shouldn't it?
Well, the photographer is the photographer is getting
Uh,
paid by Playboy, and he's fucking like models. So
yeah,
See, that's
is
the
he
thing,
also a
is
prostitute?
I can't figure out who's paying
probably.
you, because like you're the boss and also
Hef.
the no, but you play
Hef
as
paying
no,
you.
you are Hugh Hefner in the game though. You play
Oh,
as him.
No,
shit.
you're the boss is the customers, people willing to pay for your magazine,
Yeah. Well, look,
I didn't mean to derail you so much.
my
pay for your
my
smut.
memory of that game is removed by like 15 years, so like I'm probably leaving something out. But basically that game is bad. But um anyway, uh
But it made you smile.
not at the time. Talking about it made me smile, but like playing it didn't. Um uh
They give you a physical boner instead of a metaphorical one.
yeah. Yeah. But okay. So I have a few games on here that made me feel like they made me feel the same emotion but for different reasons, right? Um so the first one that I put on here is Splinter Cell Conviction.
That's a good game.
So all right, so I remember I played Splinter Cell Conviction right after watching one of the Bourne movies. And that
With
game,
Matt Damon.
yeah, with Matthew Damien. And
So you felt super cool?
well, yeah, because like basically like
Well, yeah.
Sam Fisher in that game is like he's doing all the shit that Jason Bourne does in those movies, and it's really awesome. Um,
I
but
think
like
I've seen parts of it, one Jason Bourne movie.
I just think that it's like probably like I'm gonna go ahead and say it's like my all-time favorite stealth action game.
So, question, query,
Okay.
Jason
More like
Bourne.
Metal Gear.
Yeah, more than Metal Gear.
Does
Yeah.
he wear
Wow.
a black like turtleneck or black shirt a lot in those movies?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
Like
he's
I was like
partial
I was like
to the turtlenecks.
I,
Yeah.
I think it was Born Identity that was out whenever I was working in a movie theater. So I would see it whenever I like would go in, and I was like, all I remember is him shooting and wearing a black turtleneck, and that's literally all I got from Matt Damon. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what that movie's about. Like, so I'm saying, please tell me what the movies are about.
Okay. Basically, Jason Bourne is he's a secret agent who lost his memory, and
Oh, okay,
he's trying to
he's an
figure out
agent.
who he is while people are hunting him. And over the course of time, all his skills come back to him, and it's just a whole thing that spans over the course of like 4 movies. But
Okay, so it's like Memento meets James Bond.
not quite
Don't compare it to James Bond.
because James Bond is just never mind. That's a whole nother conversation. But anyway,
I've never seen any James Bond movies. I just know who James Bond is, and he's a secret agent.
sure, okay. So
What?
no, I mean
Nothing.
that's
Am I wrong?
no.
It's fine.
You're absolutely
It's
right.
fine.
James Bond is a secret agent in the service of Her Majesty. Okay. Okay. But like the cool thing about Splinter Cell Conviction is that like one, I think that game is like just super replayable. But like it just consistently makes me feel. What's up, Tom?
You know how, like, I remember Conviction coming out, and I remember liking it. And
Mm-hmm.
I remember after Conviction, everybody did the whole thing with like the text in the environments and all that shit. You know.
Yes.
Yes,
But like,
yes.
what I don't
Yes,
remember
yes.
is like you're talking about being replayable. I'm like Blacklist, which was very similar to Conviction,
Mm-hmm.
has like a central hub
Right.
where you just like, I'm gonna go do that now, and I'm
Right.
gonna go do that now.
Right.
Conviction wasn't that way, right?
No, like you were kind of just moving from area to area,
Yeah.
like in like kind of like a linear fashion.
Right.
Right.
But like I love like every time I play the game, I just feel so cool because like all of his like stealth kill moves and like being able to like mark like 3 targets and then like pop them all in the head in like quick succession is like really satisfying. And like the whole like everything about that game just makes me feel cool when I play it. And I always just like I remember the first time I beat it, like I immediately went back and started playing it again. Just because like it's just like that game is just like every time I do something in that game, like even going from cover to cover, like just looks cool. And I just felt like that was just like I felt like for me, like as far as stealth action games go, I think that's the most fun I had playing it because it felt like it's a stealth game that also really plays like an action game and like
It really does.
and in a way that like I found very 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 satisfying.
Like there's a lot of Conviction and Blacklist that can be played like Call of Duty.
Yeah, and like
You know,
the funny thing about Splinter Cell, which has always has always been a stealth game, is that at some point in Conviction, and I'm sure this happens in Blacklist as well, but at some point in Conviction, they give you access to like all these weapons, and only like a select few of them are capable of being fitted with silencers.
yeah.
And then like you have like all these assault rifles and
Loud as
shotguns
fuck,
and
yeah.
these loud weapons. But like the
He's
game
loud as fuck.
the
What?
game can be played that way because like what they do is they also have a system where you can use those weapons, but you have to move around a lot because the enemy will keep track of your last known position. So you can use those weapons, and you just have to keep hiding like in different spots as you're using them. And so it is cool to kind of tackle the encounters that way too. But I just like it because it made me feel like this secret agent like real badass, and I liked it a lot.
GoldenEye made me feel like that.
Dishonored made me feel like that.
Yeah, Dishonored's a really cool one too. I just
I feel cool while playing that mainly because I'm goofy with it. I'm always like sneak, sneak, sneak,
Yeah.
and then do the like little. And whenever he's like, I do like the teleport jump thing. I always like imagine the Mario bing sound as it goes up.
yeah.
I just feel cool and like goofy. I like that game.
I also put Yakuza on here. I like Yakuza because it feels like I feel like I'm watching like this over the top, silly action show, and it's fun to I'm especially with all the TV shows that I've been watching lately. I like get attached to these characters on these like goofy TV shows, and then like I always like I enjoy like all the weird situations that they find themselves in. And like if you engage with a lot of Kiryu's like his side missions, like a lot of them involve people asking him to do like crazy things. Like at one point, like I think this is in Yakuza 0, where he's just walking along and some guy pulls him off the street and was like, "Hey, we need a producer for our commercial because our producer like bailed out." And so like Kiryu, not knowing anything about television production, has to figure out how to like make this commercial work. And then for some reason at like during the shooting of the commercial, like people start trying to fight him, and it's just wacky and silly, and like I love it because like there are like heavy scenes in Yakuza. Like there's like a overarching story that like deals with some like heavy shit, but like a lot of the stuff that happens like as he's walking around is like really silly and fun, and like the fights are like crazy and like over the top because like you're always like grabbing weapons and like hitting people with signs off the street or like smashing them with bicycles or whatever. And it's just fun. It's just like really fun, and like I like those characters a lot, especially the main character. You know, it's just he's like this perpetually angry but also very kind-hearted person, and it works really well. And I have two more here. I have Breath of the Wild.
Finally.
And let me tell you something about Breath of the Wild, man. There's something about riding around on your horse that is just, I don't know what it is, but like I feel like I just feel calm, like because the scenery is just so beautiful, and like everything is just so tranquil. And I mean, until monsters show up, but like
yeah, but then it's like
fucking monsters.
It's like 5 piano keys and shit, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, and even like not even just like galloping along, like just like on the horse, and the horse is just walking, and
Yeah.
it's just nice to like just look around, and like look at all the things, and like it's nice to, like you see a campsite, you stop and you cook a little meal, you eat it. And then
you played in this game way different than I did.
And you're just walking. It's nice, man. And it's like
I was like, what can I do with this? What can I do with this?
And
Awesome.
like,
exactly,
what can I do
right?
with
Like
this?
for me, Breath of the Wild was like, I'm a fucking scientist. let's
Yeah.
experiment,
Yeah, and I had to do a little bit of that, especially with those
I,
Yeah.
fucking shrines,
here's
man. Just like fuck it.
here's this mountain. I don't feel like going the regular path. I'm just gonna cook food until I can climb this mountain and
Yeah.
call it a
Yeah,
day.
for sure.
Well, that's another thing.
Yeah.
That's another thing about that game too, is it does a very good job. Once you figure out how to do certain things, it does a very good job of making you feel like a genius for doing it, and
I
that's
did it.
yeah, and that's really satisfying, you know. Um,
Speaking of, real quick, Bailey's about to finish her fourth Zelda game for the summer, and then move on to another one.
which one is it?
What's she playing?
Ocarina right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
The 3DS.
What all four has she played?
She played The Wind Waker, Breath of the Wild, and Link's Awakening, and she's pretty far along in Ocarina.
Is she playing the 3DS
Ocarina's
one?
really fun.
No,
Okay,
she's playing the original one.
right on.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. I just feel like and that's another thing about that game too, is that it's just so. I feel like it's just so open ended with the way that it like allows you to kind of interact with it, that you guys played it one way, and I'm playing it a completely different way, but we we both like found like immense enjoyment out of it, and I think that like it's a huge testament to that game. Um, and the last one I'm gonna bring up is A Hat in Time, and
I do love that game.
that game is just like so fucking happy. Like it's just so happy and cute and silly and like
It's so cute.
yeah, and like I think a couple of my favorite moments are when like you're in the forest and that malevolent forest spirit is like he like makes you sign that contract, and then like you're doing like it's just all this silly shit around that contract is really funny. And then like the whole like being on a movie set and they're like you're supposed to be helping them make a
I like,
movie, and
I
I
really
like the
hated the movie
train.
set.
really I loved
I
it.
like
So,
the
like,
train a
the
lot.
movie set is like the stealth section of that game.
Yeah,
And I just found it very, I don't know,
but like
linear. And
I like the just the overall like look of the game.
yeah,
I love Hat Girl. She's just adorable, and like even her nemesis is adorable, and it's just like the whole game is just like I can't
Who's cuter?
Hat Girl for sure. Uh but like just like everything about that game is just like it's just wrapped up in this like and this just like this cute like just cute atmosphere that is just a joy to interact with. And I feel like I've played it more than once for the purpose of like specifically for the purpose of changing my mood, just because like it's just so colorful and vibrant and fun, you know. And I think it's fun in the way that like in the way that I remember 3D platformers being like when 3D platformers were like new and novel to me. It's fun in that way, and
yeah.
that
I
just
mean, it takes very directly from Sunshine, you know?
yeah, and it's just a gorgeous game, and I want like after playing that game, I feel like I've wanted to. I've been on the lookout for games that have like a similar vibe to them, and I think that's kind of also part of why, like, I was initially attracted to like a game like Ooblets, because I was like, well, this game looks super cute and vibrant and happy, and that's what I like.
And now you got a farm of breakdancers.
Yeah, yeah, I do got to do that. But I'm rolling like 12 deep now, so that I mean I feel like I'm just paying off. But yeah, I think that A Hat in Time is just like a really like great game to play. Like it's kind of like if I think back to when I was a kid and I would watch like something scary, and like I remember the first time I watched Phantasm 3 as a kid, and that movie scared the shit out of me. And I remember immediately afterward like watching Cartoon Network to chill myself out. And I feel like I've played some scary games, and then I would like afterward I would go and then play A Hat in Time. I was like, this is okay. This is like cartoons, and it's gonna mellow me out before I go to sleep. And I think that's like when I play it, I am smiling the entire time, and I love that game. But yeah, and I just wanted to talk to you guys about like I think it's important especially when you engage with a hobby that takes up so much time and money to find think of those moments where you feel happy and you feel like you're really 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 enjoying yourself, and it's nice, you know. Video games, I love video games, and I think it's games like that that when I feel that emotion, it reminds me of why I love them so much.
Yeah.
Well said.
Thank you. Thank you.
I had nothing to add. That was, as you said, it was well said. I got nothing. Any closing thoughts, Tommy?
No, not really. Play Resident Evil 3.
No.
Everybody's shitting all over that game, and it's real
But,
good.
but why? What do people not like about it? What's the problem?
People don't like how short it is.
Okay.
They don't like Nemesis.
Okay. You're not supposed to like him.
They don't like that they removed the clock tower.
Oh, come on.
You know.
Look.
I'm not saying it's the best Resident Evil game.
Like Jay-Z
but
said.
But it's not bad.
Like Jay-Z,
it's fucking fun.
Like Jay-Z said, you want my old shit, buy my old album. Resident Evil 3, the original, is still out there, guys.
That's true.
We have a new game that you can play on new consoles with less time. Tom,
well, you know, like
he loves it.
People are saying it's too short, right?
Yeah.
And like, I was thinking about that today. Wouldn't you rather a game be too short than too long? Like, wouldn't you rather want the game to be longer?
Yeah. I'd rather
than wish that it was shorter.
I would rather a game leave me wanting more than overstay its welcome.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, those games are just the games that you end up not playing. Yeah. Or not finishing.
But like
that's what happens with those games. Like you just don't finish them.
Here's what I don't get. Every Resident Evil that I have played, it like has kept track of how long you took to finish that game. And people, as far as I'm aware, would strive to finish those games as fast as possible.
Right.
Now you don't have to worry about a whole clock tower.
Now they give you the short game that you can beat in 2 hours if you want to, and they don't like it. I don't know, man. Something stinks.
Yeah. So, yeah, play that, because I've been playing just way too much of that.
Yeah, I've been meaning to get around to it, but, you know, there's shit's going on right now.
I probably won't.
That's okay, Sinead.
It's not scary, Sinead. It's not scary.
I gotta research all these Smash characters now, so when people bring up the game, I don't look like a fucking idiot.
Well, I made my son play the beginning of Resident Evil 7, and it scared the bejesus out of him. It was very funny to me.
Yeah.
And then much like you, right after he went and played something colorful and vibrant.
It helps.
Yeah.
And actually,
the world's okay.
You appreciate them more.
It's very funny to me.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
Are you raising Ryan?
I don't know. It's just like Baker Daddy is a scary dude, man. Like he will chase you throughout that house. He'll grab you by the face.
Oh, he didn't even make it to that.
He didn't make it to Baker Daddy?
No, I don't think he even got his arm
He's
lopped
a baby
off.
boy.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Dead Space is next for him, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
would pay. I mean, no, I wouldn't pay money to watch Bradley play it because he would.
Well, and you like to make children happy.
Sure, that's what you said. You said that.
I did. I mean, I don't want no crying children around me. Fuck them. Like that's annoying.
That is true. That is annoying.
Yeah, I don't like it. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of crying kids.
If I could help them like stop crying, that'd be great.
That's my closing thought. I'm not a fan of crying children.
Yeah. So check out our Instagram. Tom's doing a great job of that. We have 1,000 followers on it, and
that sounds really funny when you say that.
What?
It's a lot of people, man.
Funny.
1,000 people is a lot of people.
You know, I'll say this about it, right? Like,
more than I have on Instagram.
We've grown it very organically.
Yeah. No gimmicks.
Like
no bots were bought.
Because of that, like it's a small group of people, but that group of people are so cool and like so good to talk to.
Yeah.
Like
and I think that's what matters, right?
Yeah.
But yeah. You know, If any of you Instagram followers
And
are
they like
listening,
to send me things, which is great.
if any of you Instagram followers are listening, thank you.
And send me more stuff.
And send Tom more stuff. He could
If
always
you want to send something for Ryan or Shanae, I'll make sure it gets to them.
eventually. I got something over here that I'm trying to figure out how to get to Tom. But we'll see how it goes.
Drop it on his doorstep.
Is it condoms?
It is not condoms, Tom, because I know you don't use those.
Oh!
Is it one condom?
Zing.
You got the proof. On that note, we also got other social medias, and then we have Discord. You can find us on YouTube, most podcast apps. And bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.